Like I say, good morning, everyone. Thank God the opportunity to be here on today. Truly, that was the perfect song to segue into the message on today, because you have to truly love Christ, to be willing to go to things that sometimes we have to go through to reach that purpose, that goal, or our destiny in Him. All the time when God tells us something, He shows sometimes the end point, but He don't always show us the different things we have to go through in life to get to that point. Before I go into I do have to do one thing that God has put in my spirit. I know He's a very humble man. So I'm very humble to be here today in the presence of Pastor Jonathan Richardson III. I want to tell Pastor Richardson, I've been thinking about you all morning. I've been thinking about you all the way to the service today. Truly, I will be forever grateful for your friendship and the relationship that God has given us. I want to tell you and your wife, I truly love you guys, and I don't think God could put anyone better, in my life. He brings people in your life exactly when you need them, and I'm also grateful for you, because even though I was a pastor, and even though I was preaching, even though I was teaching, and I always felt that I was anointed, I always felt that I could preach upon the power, but when I got here, I learned how to preach under the power, the courage, the strength of a lion, but with the humbleness of a lamb. Because a lot of people think just because they're hitting hard, that's anointed. That don't mean that you're anointed. You can call the devil the old mangy dog all you want to. That don't mean you're powerful. You can call it a broke down dog, mangy dog. But the power comes when you teach people how to get away from the advances of the old mangy broke down dog. So we have to be careful that we don't see, because they carry majesty, charisma and anointing, two different things. So many times we call it charisma. They just have a certain type of mannerisms, but is there true anointing behind that? So we're gonna be talking today. It's all part of the process. We got to realize that with the process come challenges. Just because God called you don't mean you're not gonna go through some things. Just because God called you mean everything gonna be little white and blue and all these different things like that. Sometimes we're going to have to go through some things to reach that place in God, because He allowed to go through some things, because sometimes there's some things He has to take out of us. And sometimes He has things that He has to put in us. But we have to be willing to stay in that thing until God say we're ready. Because so often we want to just jump out of the fire. And we jump out too soon. We find challenges in life, and we find that we hitting and missing because we didn't take the time out to let God truly refine us. Yeah. So what it do when they say when fire refines? It take out all the impurities. There were some things in my life that God had to take out of me. There were some things in my action, my personality that God had to take out of me. And just like me, there was other people as well. So we have to be willing to stay in the fire until God say we're ready. Yes, sometimes we be preaching 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But we have to be careful that we don't get ahead of God. So many times people say, we can't, you can't. Just because God called you to preach don't mean that you're ready. Amen. You have to learn some things. Just because you've been preaching 2 years don't mean all time that you're ready. Because we have to realize it's all about the love of Christ. That's the segue into this message. It should never be about me. Never have been, never will be about me. This walk is all about God and our love for Christ. We have to have the love of Christ to be willing to go through. It goes, and even though we to try to help understand this, we look at natural relationships. A real man will go through anything to defend his wife. Yeah. But in that spiritual level, we got to be willing to go through anything to defend the word of God and to be an example of God and His word. Amen. So we got to realize that we represent God everywhere we go. That's why we can't get caught up in ourselves. We can't get caught up in fads and fashion. We can't get caught up in, well, they doing this over here. But if it's not with God, we need to stay away from those things. We've been coming from the book of Genesis, the 37th chapter. The title is part of the process. We already spoke about with process come challenges. With purpose, it's part of the process. If you want to fulfill God's purpose in your life, you must be willing to go through the process. Is anybody willing to go through the process today?
Man. Yes, sir.
I'm going to say again, if anybody willing to go through the process today, I often speak about where we come from, the lifestyle we live, where we came from. And when God spoke to us to move to San Antonio, He didn't tell me that it would be hard to find a job. I had to change my whole career. Because if He told me that, I might not have came. Just be honest with Him. He didn't tell me the different things we have to go through to get to where we at. Because He told me the whole thing, I might not have came. I like to believe that I would. But we got to realize we have a human nature too. And sometimes our human nature don't always line up with God's will for our lives. Because it's just human nature not to want to go through something. I don't want to have to get up in the morning and my car don't start. Yeah, I can call someone else if I had to, but I want my stuff to start. I don't want to get up in the morning and open the refrigerator and something that I really want to eat that day is not in there. I want to open it up if I want eggs and bacon, it's there. If I want ham and toast, it's there. So it's human nature not to want to go through anything. But when you get called out, we're going to find out today. There's certain people that get called out, they get called on. Some people been picked out to be picked on. Yeah. Because when God calls you, we're going to realize the call of God don't start when someone calls you to the front and say, God's calling you for ministry. The call of God on your life don't start when you say, well, I accept this call of my life. The call of God on our life started at the beginning of the time, because way back then, at the beginning of the time, God knew that on this day, I'll be standing right here. Way before I was born. Yeah. So that call, when we answer the call of God in our life, we got to realize we got to go through something. And we can't, as they said, we can't despise small beginnings. We talk about a town I came from called Markham, Texas. If you go through it now, it's almost like a ghost town. But when people reflect back on there, and I go through that town, I don't see a town that's decrepit, or falling away, decaying, old houses. I see deliverance. Because my mind reflects back on not only what I went through, but what God brought me through. Because some people went through the same things I went through, they didn't make it. Some is locked in prison, some is in the grave, some is in insanity, some are hooked on drugs, because they couldn't withstand those things. So every time I drive through Markham, I'm not ashamed. I cruise the neighborhoods. It's only like 4 or 5 streets, so it don't take that long. I cruise the neighborhood. I pass by Avenue C. I pass by Avenue B. I pass by the church. The town's so small, they just say, meet people under the tree. Everybody knew where to go. So I don't despise small beginnings, because through it all, God delivered me. He chose to deliver me out of these situations. Let's go to Genesis 37. We'll start at the 5th verse. We're talking about Joseph on the day. One of the greatest stories of deliverance that I know in the Bible. It's part of the process. Life is a process. Life journey is a process. Start at the 5th verse. It said, Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. We have to realize that everyone's not going to love us when you have to call to God in your life. They're going to hate us just for not only who we are, but who we serve. No, it's back in the day when people said they called themselves a Christian, that meant something. They just another word now in so many people's lives. But everyone calls themselves a Christian, doing everything. But we realize that we call it separated from the world. So we see Joseph's brother hated him even more. So that let me know that they hated him even before he told them the dream. We have to be very careful who we speak out to. It's because God give us something, don't mean got to tell everybody. Because everybody have a best benefit in heart. Now I do believe that he had to tell his dream, because his dream would have ushered him into the pit. We're going to get there in a little bit. But when God gives us something, the devil already automatically going to be set against it. He wants to see us, because we got to realize it's not about us, it's about Christ. It's not about Mike. The devil don't care about me. But if he could kill the influence I have on other people, if he could kill that thing that God put in me that draw people to me, that I could use to help draw people to God, that's what they're interested in killing. So we got to be careful that we're not giving people ammunition to kill our dreams. Because whatever God ordained, people can't stop it, but we can allow it to stop by allowing different things to sidetrack us. We got to realize, Bishop Johnny, that there's a small thin line between confidence and arrogance. Right. So we got to be honest with ourselves. Joseph's a little arrogant. You know how it is when you're growing up and you got something your brother or sister don't have? My daughter told me that her children was grounded watching TV. But her boyfriend, like Jamaica, watched TV while the other kids at school, they tell her, don't tell your sisters you watch TV. As soon as they walk through the door, he let me watch TV. That's just human nature. We can never make this thing about us, because it's God that chooses to use who we will. We have to realize without God that we can't do anything. So the Bible said they hated no more, and it said to them, here I pray you this dream, which I have dreamed, boastful. For behold, we are binding sheep in the field, and lo, my sheep arose, and also stood upright, and behold, your sheep stood round about and made obeisance to my sheep. And the brother said unto him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? That's a big brother. Who hasn't got younger brothers? I got a younger brother. He's not going to beat me doing anything. I'm not going to let it happen. That's just what the big brothers do. Now, if he throw a football 50, I'm going to throw 100, 51. That's what brothers do. I'm not going to, but that's on a natural level. That's when we make things about us. But don't you realize that sometimes God may call a younger brother to do a work that he knows the older brother just not have the mentality to do, not have the patience or perseverance to do. So we can't allow the enemy to make us try to make it about us. So I got to be happy if God chooses to use my younger brother in the area, because God knows who's going to finish this race. He knows who's going to be willing to go through. He knows who's going to mess this thing up. He knows who's going to put him first and foremost. He knows who's going to falter down the way. So God chose to give this dream to Joseph. But yet the brothers even got even madder. And he dreamed yet another dream and told his brother and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold the sun and the moon and 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father, to his brethren, and to his father, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brother indeed come to bow down ourselves unto thee? And his brother envied him, but his father observed the same. Look at the counsel, if I could say, of a wise father. He rebuked him, yet he remembered the same. We have different people that's in our lives that's going to be happy for us. We have people in our lives going to scold us. We have people in our lives going to remember back when they saw something within us. I always wondered growing up why I never really fit in. Even though I wanted to start athletics in school, I never really fit in. Nowhere. They take us out to eat with the football team every Friday. Everybody else over here. I'm sitting over by myself. Not being antisocial, but I just never was comfortable around it. But we have to be careful with who we allow into our circle. Even though I wanted to roughest at the school, was bad, lie, whatever I did what I wanted to do, someone would see the call of God in their life. My nickname was Preacher. I don't know how they got that. They had to be from God. But we have to be careful with the circle we run with. God had to keep my circle small. Because that's a lie when they say that you can't fit a square peg in a round circle. If you allow your circle to get big enough, it'll fit. So we're called to keep our circle small. To this day, I don't have a whole lot of people I call friends. Now, thank God I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that's in here. There's not many more outside of this room. Because why? I have to keep my circle small. Because everyone, the more you allow your circle to grow, everyone you allow in not going to have your best interest at heart. Not going to care because you call to God. Not going to care that you're trying to be used to God. But and they was trying to hinder you from reaching that place in God He's calling you to be. We're called to be standard barriers. Right? We're called to lead by example. So we got to be careful when we step out how we carrying ourselves. Now God, He's called us to be confident, not in ourselves, but confident in Him. But He's not calling us to be arrogant. He's not calling us to be boastful. He's not calling us to try to fill a house just so we have a whole bunch of members. He's not calling us for that. Because we have to be careful to make sure that the things we're doing is for God. But we should be trying to get as many members as we can. So you will never hear me say, if I just get reached 2. No, I want to reach 20 million. Amen. Why? Because I'm trying to do this for God. And I want to honor God by presenting this word in such a way where it's going to draw men to Him. And not only draw men to Him, but save them from a life of sin. No, so that if we stay here for the next 20 years, that's all we get. If that's God's will, that's fine. But my goal is to try to get many people into this congregation or into this fold. When I say the fold, I'm talking about Christendom, true Christendom. Whether they go to this church, another church, and just long as the church is standing for righteousness. My goal is to try to get as many people in this thing as possible. Because I don't want to see anyone die and go to hell. And his brother Abraham, but the father observed it, saying, and their brother went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, do not thy brother feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee them. And he said unto him, here am I. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it is well with thy brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron and unto Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in a field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their sheep, their flocks. And the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near them, they conspired against him and said unto one another, behold, this dreamer. Look how people treat the one that's called of God. Don't think because you put a turnback collar on, you're going to get all the respect in the world. I remember growing up, preachers were respected. They respected preachers, not those growing up, at least where I was from. No, when the preacher passed by and we was up under the tree, there was the meeting place where I came from, you were drinking your little slits or whatever you was drinking. When the preacher passed by, put it behind him. But so often now, preachers don't get that same kind of respect. Some because people get disrespectful, some because how some preachers carry themselves in these days. We have to realize that word preacher, elder, bishop, pastor, whatever you call, is more than just a title. There's a lifestyle that has to go behind it. Once again, that lifestyle has to be conducive to the Word of God. I realize that we live in a world where they got so many different avenues to read the Bible and so many different ideologies out there, and most of them are not scriptural. That's why you got to make sure that you're in a scripture-based church. And I think that one of the most horrible things that someone could do to themselves is on Bible study night not to come unless they can be there. Because on Bible, especially for leaders, because on Bible study night, you get to learn from other people's perspective. And let me explain when I say other people's perspective. Because there's a lot of people that have, when you go into the Word of God, they have different, when they read it, they get a different understanding. Now, I do believe that God, revelate His Word to people in different ways, but it don't change the meaning of that word. So when you come to Bible study, instead of getting up here, and like my pastor back home, open your mouth and stupid, just jump out and run across the room, you get a chance to hear the Word of God. Go back home. If it don't line up with what you think, go back home and get it and study it some more. That's why I'm very careful. I was talking to the pastor earlier about it. I'm very careful. When someone says something that's different than my understanding, I don't jump on it right then. I go back home and research that thing some more. Because even though I don't mind apologizing, even though I mind repenting, I do not like to have to. So I make sure if I open my mouth, I'm confident in what I say. So I have to get back here and be pretty apologizing. Because if you get to doing that too much, you can lose confidence in the ones that before you. That's why a lot of times you don't iron sharper than iron. That's why it gets solid. Not that I don't have nothing to say. That's a whole lot to say. But a lot of times when you get in that back and forth debate, you have to be careful because you can lose the people. And a lot of times when you get in that debate, if we don't have a chance to finish it, then that person just leave you either confused because nothing got resolved. So we got to be careful how we present God's word. Even though our intentions might be good, is it really helping? Or is it really, when everybody still walk away with the same idea? No, sometimes we just have to shut it down. We're not going to the next question. We're going to stay right here until we get it. So if the next one comes with that same question, but the thing is, before we give our opinion on, we should never give our opinion anyway. We should make sure we study that thing. And I'm still in scripture. Because of our purpose. And that can be a direct hindrance from what God's trying to get us to be. Because we get stuck on that one thing, you really can't go forward if you're stuck in the area. Have you saw people that read the Bible and get the word they can't read up and now they just jump over it? Not knowing that that's the main word in their whole scripture that give clarity. No, this word, what that mean? Just go up. No, if I come across a word and I don't know what it means, I'm not going to rest. I'm going to stop what I'm reading. I'm going to go find out what it means and go back and see what it really saying. So we see now that Joseph is on the way. And he's on the way to do good for his brothers. Just check on their welfare, take us something to eat. But even before he got there, they spotted him well off. We got to realize that some people watching us. We have people watching us. So we have to be careful. Not only how we carry ourselves, but how we present ourselves. Even though I thank God, for where we at, we come, have church here and different things. I'm always careful how I carry myself. When I pass woman, I make sure, good morning. Speak. Why? Because the thing is, I'm just not a people person. But we're called because we never know what that person might be going through at that time. We never know sometimes just what a good morning to do. We never know how sometimes just a handshake or just a hug. I don't know about everybody else, but every time I hug them, man, I don't care what I'm going through. I don't care if I'm tired, I don't care what. Every time, hug Sister Liz or Sister Margot, my brother here. You never know what people might be going through. Don't think but it's because we passive, we don't go through some things. We go through things that you never know about. We go through some things that our wives will never know about. Why? Because we're more concerned about the flock than the shepherd of the flock. I heard Pastor say the other day that he might be walking around some wrong with shoes, but his baby ain't. Every time she come in there, as the youngsters say, she looking fly. And that's just how we are. But we got to be the same way when it comes down to Christ.
Yes, sir.
No, I might do without, but when it comes to God's word, there's no negotiating.
That's right.
I'm going to put this in there. If it's wrong for me to do, it's wrong for me to support. I'm going to say it again. If it's wrong for me to do, it's wrong for me to support. Because so often when we find ourselves doing, or some people find ourselves doing, they're being partaking in somebody else's sin. Let me explain that. I think that young ladies should dress in modest apparel. So all my daughters know, if you want to get in the house, you're not coming or looking any kind of way. Some people might not agree with that. If I think it's wrong to smoke, for me, I'm not going to buy you something to smoke on. Yeah. Why? Because what we're doing, we're compromising what God called for us to do. If I think it's wrong for me to shack, I have to marry my wife, none of my daughters, my dad we can move back home, I'm bringing Leroy with me. That's not happening. Why? Because we are called to live by example. And the Bible says, don't let our good be evil spoken of. So how am I going to tell you or tell someone else, what does say the Lord when I'm allowing it to go into my house?
Good.
So So we see Joseph. We see Joseph going to check on, give good tidings to his brother, to check on his brother, see how they're doing. But they spouted far off. And this is the first place that Joseph's purpose got him into. Purpose doesn't always bring you, ain't always going to be flamboyant. So when you're living for God, you might not only be living on a palace on top of the hill. Because God wants to see, do you really want this thing? So you might start off, I started up, my first house I lived in was a little pink house on a street called Avenue C. Avenue C in Bay City was a street that all the clubs was on. And it was so bad, we couldn't allow children to go outside and play. Because the drunks chasing them. Think it's fun. The house probably was smaller than this room right here. You burn up in the summertime, you froze in the wintertime. I don't think they had no kind of insulation, that thing. But it was where God allowed me to start at. So don't think because you, once again, put on a turnback collar, you can squall a little bit. Don't think that everything will be pieces of cream. Don't think that you're going to have the best on everything. But we have to learn how to be thankful for whatever God has given us. I'm thankful how I was raised, Bishop. I'm thankful for the ketchup sandwich, the manna sandwich, the butter and sugar. I'm thankful for all that. Because you cannot really learn how to appreciate the good things in life, and you can't learn how to appreciate those things you have to get through to get there. Right. You can't really learn how to appreciate success unless you failed a couple of times. You can't never really how to appreciate having a good wife, like the brothers here got, if you have some of them old, relationships you've been through some things on. I've been in some relationships, I've been through some things. But I got one now that God has given me because I stuck to it. And when my first wife passed away, I didn't rush into another relationship. I let God do it. I don't have to worry about it. She going back home today. I'm not worried about what she going to run into. Because I already know that as soon as that thing's over, she get back to Big Daddy. Huh? She don't have to worry about me. Why? Because I will not compromise my purpose. And so many people are doing it. So Joseph's going away to see his brothers and check on their welfare. But they spot him far off. Don't think that people are looking at you. Don't people that think they're watching you. And some people watch you to see are you real. Some people watching to see are you going to fail. Some people watching to see how to get close to you to make you fail. Yeah. So they're watching him. So what's the first thing that got Joseph into the pit? Envy. Some people are going to want what you have, but be not willing to go through what it takes to get it. Anyone can get a new car. Go get a job. Get your credit right if it's bad. Anyone can get a new house, but you have to be willing to go through the process. I remember the first year I ran track. Just being for the country, just naturally talented. Was fast as a jackrabbit. We ran jackrabbits, chased dogs, jumped over out of trees, jumped off the top of the house. So just was naturally talented. But talent could only take you so far. First year I ran track. Breezed through the district. Breezed through the regionals. When I got to state where the thoroughbreds was. I didn't like training. So I just went on natural talent. But when I got to the state where they took that thing serious, where the quarter horses and thoroughbreds was, that lack of training and discipline showed up. So that let me know that even in my walk with Christ, I have to be disciplined in everyday life. Just because someone cooking barbecue and different things and offer it to me, if I'm on this fast, I have to be disciplined and say, no, I can't do this today. Because just that giftedness and talent don't take you so far. But you have to have a relationship with God to go all the way. Because we're going to go through things in life that only God can take us through. We have to persevere. They said one to another, behold, the dreamer cometh. And come now, therefore, let us slay him and cast him in some pit. And we'll say, some evil beast hath devoured him. And we shall see what will come of his dreams. So because of the call of God in his life, that his brothers was willing to kill him. We got to make sure that we don't allow influence of others to kill our purpose.